What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dr. Shoes, and today we're doing an updated video on how to cop on sneakers. A lot of you guys out there asking us, how do you guys hit on sneakers? How do you hit so often? What are the tips and tricks you guys use? So we're going to make this video an updated version of what we use to hit at a super high rate. Before we get into this video, if you haven't subscribed, you're doing it all wrong, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. We do got a $100 giveaway coming out at 4K. All right, let's get in this. Before we get into all the tips and tricks, we're going to go through some frequently asked questions that you guys have asked us. All right, let's get into it. The first question is, can I use multiple accounts to the same address? The answer is yes. So we have 3 different accounts all going to one address. Then we have a 4th one with another name going to a different address. But 3 different names, all the same address. The address is not jigged. All 3 accounts hit on the same drop. We've had no issues. So you can use yourself, your sibling, your parent, all to the same address, no issue. As far as using the same name to the same address, is possible, but I would jig the address. What do I mean by jig the address? Let's say whatever your street address is, instead of avenue, for the other account, put Ave, A-V-E, or put lane. If you want to switch it up like that, you can, but to be extra safe, I would just use different names, same address for everyone who lives there. Can I use the same phone for drawings? You can. So what you have to do is you can make 10, 15 accounts, but what you have to do is sign in, enter the drawing, sign out, the next name. Sign in, sign out, the next name. We don't do that. We just use all real accounts. All 4 accounts that we use are real accounts. We don't have multiple. But if you want to do it for the Dan drops and you want to have 10, 15, 20 accounts for the drawings, that's going to increase your chances, and you definitely can do it. You're just going to have to sign in and sign out as much as you can within that 10 minutes or 15 minutes that they allow. What works best? PayPal or credit card or Apple Pay? For us, we've always used PayPal. I've heard a lot of troubles with using credit card because they think it's fraud sometimes, especially if you're doing multiple accounts. Apple Pay is fine, but I like the way PayPal is set up where you use a backup method. So if it was me, I would strictly use PayPal. What is the max number of accounts you could use on Wi-Fi? There really is not a set known account. Everyone typically stays to that 3 to 4 phones, but this is not a fact. People just kind of go off what other people are saying. To not test it, they talk about banned accounts. I've never been banned. You guys can tell me if any of you guys have been banned, but we don't use more than 3 to 4 accounts. Usually we'll go 3 with Wi-Fi, and that 4th one we go to 4G or 5G. But there's been times where we've forgotten and we use all 4 on Wi-Fi and there's been no issue. So rule of thumb, 3 to 4, but it's not a fact. All right, before we get into tips and tricks, let me let you guys understand how the sneaker app works. So there's 2 types of drawings. There's the Leo drawing and the Dan drawing. The Dan drawing is simple. It's either a 10-minute or 15-minute straight draw. You don't have to rush. You just get your entry in, and then after the 10 or 15 minutes is up, sneakers will let you know if you've won. So the best way to win those is the more entries, the better chance you have of winning. So family members, friends, multiple accounts. You can buy multiple accounts. The more entries obviously you have, the better chance you have of winning a drawing. Where the Leo is a little different. The Leo is a 2 to 3 minute drawing where sneakers randomly selects accounts for the win. If you don't win, you can go back for another size. The way our experience worked is the more you've hit, the more sneakers likes your account, the better chance you have winning. At the beginning, you got to build a reputation with sneakers, and then the more you hit, it seems like those accounts tend to hit more. Because we've started accounts from scratch, and they do show some love, but those accounts that do get the most love repeatedly hit. And it's not necessarily the first one to be there, but you still can use some tricks to get in there smoothly and enter fast. Probably the most important thing that you need to do is have all your information saved and beyond face recognition. So you want to have your name, your address, your size, face recognition, all saved, ready to go on the SNKRS app. That's probably the number one simplest thing and the most important thing, because if you're going in there putting in your password manually, hopefully your phone has face recognition, because that itself is going to be the thing that's going to save you the most, because sometimes you don't get the size and you got to go back in and you got to be fast, because if you're slow, it's going to be too late and you're not going to get the shoe. And the other most important thing is this obvious: be on time. Be ready. It's going to be a 7 a.m. drop Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. Be ready 10 to 15 minutes before. What we do is we have a laptop right next to us. We have Google time counting down, so we're ready to go. We don't miss a second. Have it on your side. Trust me, this definitely helps. The next thing you want is you want to have all your phone and everything running at full capability. So what you want to do is close all your apps. I know this sounds simple, but you want to close all your apps because you want the location to only be towards SNKRS. You don't want it to be trying to go to other apps, slowing you down. You also, if possible, don't want to be on 4G or 5G. You can, but Wi-Fi will work better as long as your Wi-Fi speed is good. So this is the way our setup is. Everyone always asks us, how is your setup? Okay, so we have 4 phones, all connected on Wi-Fi, all to the same PayPal account. 4 different names and 2 different addresses. The reason we use PayPal is because credit cards a lot of times get glitched or fraud, or the payment does not go through. The way you want to set up your PayPal account is you want to have the primary to your bank account and a secondary can be to a credit card. The reason you want to have 2 accounts set up on your PayPal, in case one thinks it's fraud or doesn't go through, you have a backup account. I think the reason we hit at such a high rate is because we have the 4 accounts going and we have PayPal as our choice, because PayPal, a lot of people don't set up a backup method for PayPal. So what happens if their credit card thinks it's fraud, or if you're trying to get multiple accounts where it sees the same shoe on 2 to 3 accounts, it's gonna reject it. But if you have a backup method, you have a better chance of both payments going through. Very simple, but it works. Another common thing that we do is we don't go for the money size. A lot of people want to go for the money size, but you got to think about it. Everybody's going for the money size. If everyone's going for the same size, you got a least chance of hitting. So what you want to do is before drop day is see what size you think is not as common but is selling for a good price point. That's the one you want to go for. Yeah, you might make $20, $30 less, but that's still better than not hitting at all. And also, once you pick a phone and you pick a size, you want to stick with that size. I think SNKRS recognizes repetition, and if they see you're hitting a size 11 every time, there's going to be a better chance for you to hit that size. It makes it seem like it's not a bot. It makes it seem like that you're truly going for your size, which a lot of people are. That's why if you're a size 11, keep going for a size 11. Don't switch it up on the phone. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If this was beneficial for you guys, please subscribe to the channel. Alright, we'll catch you on the next one.